Hi guys, today I'm going to be reviewing the X-Transbots Apollyon MX1. This figure is supposed to be a masterpiece Megatron. So they've really, this was a highly anticipated figure. Took a long time, a lot of production issues. My copy took a while to get here. A lot of delays in shipping, and I think X-Transbots really was trying to make this a perfect release, so they took a lot of extra time to include some fixes for certain parts, and I'll try to go over that. But here's the box. It's actually a really nice box. It comes with a sleeve here. Basically just says X-Transbots on the front, big X-Transbots on the side, and then here you've got the picture of the figure. It says, "From Liberty's ashes, order rises." And here you've got 84 MX1 leader Apollyon, made in China, in big white letters, kind of strange. And then it says X-Transbots Master X series. So there are other Master X series coming out. So we'll take the sleeve off here. And underneath you've got a pretty nice box, very nice artwork, kind of a picture of all the X-Transbots figures, their Scourge homage, their Wind Charger homage, which hasn't come out yet. Actually Scourge hasn't either. Their Beachcomber homage hasn't come out yet also. Their Ollie, which was, I'm trying to think what his original name was. Up here you've got Power Glide. They've got your Huffer and your Crank. So really all of their figures are on here. It's pretty neat. And you kind of see in the background you've got Cyclonus, which is the next figure. A lot of people are excited about that. Down at the bottom, you've got, sort of a description of Apollyon. I'm not going to read this. But you do have the old school, scanning. You used to have a little red decoder to kind of see their stats. And so that's what this is. I mean, it's basically homaging the old Transformers from the 80s. Every box used to have this, and you'd have a little decoder. This doesn't come with a decoder, but it's neat that they have that. And that's basically it. It comes with this velcroed shut 2-piece thing, and when you open it up, it really is really nice looking box. Almost want to keep it in this box, but obviously not going to do that. First impression when you open it up is this thing looks awesome. It's really nice paint job. I was really worried about breakage or having some problems. There's been a lot of issues with this figure. As far as I can tell, it's not broken. You got all the accessories kind of on this side. And then you got the figure and his cannon, and also the his handgun, his, I don't know if you can see that, his helmet, control helmet, and then over off on the side here is his sword. Very nice box. I've removed the seals over here just for the review, but basically you had these X-Transbots tape. This is what it looked like. So I took these off. They come off pretty nice. I think they made it so that you don't have to ruin the box by taking the tape off. They kind of want you to be able to keep a nice box. So let's get the figure out. We'll start with this side here, and we'll come back to the accessories on the other side. First we'll start with this tray. It really just kind of slides out on the top here. And we'll go back to the rest of the box here. And here's what you get in this tray. And very nice packaging, very similar to what I would consider a Takara packaging. So let's get this guy out here. I mean, this is already pretty impressive. I'll take all the accessories out. We've got the sword, his control helmet, and the pistol. That's it for this tray. That's pretty much it. It's pretty good use of tray. It's almost filled. There's only a little bit of gap here, so it really filled the entire tray. Alright, so onto the figure. You know, first impressions, this guy is really nice paint job. They did a great job with the silver, you know, almost like a chrome. It's not chrome, but it's like a shiny silver paint. The black on his, you know, which are the handles for the gun, they're not shiny, but you know, it's not matte either. Kind of have a good look to them. I do find this sort of irritating, and I've heard other people complaining about this. This piece is sort of loose. You can maybe kind of get it out of the way, but I just find the fact that they have left that there sort of irritating. I am going to place a decal here. I don't know if I'll do it during this review or if I'll do it afterwards, but that really is kind of what makes this guy, you know, puts him into the Masterpiece Transformers class. He really needs that sticker, so I'll be putting that on. In fact, you know, I'll probably do that in the review so you can kind of see what it looks like. So let's kind of do a 360 here. He's fairly thick. I mean, his legs look. I like this. I like the fact that he's got really thick ankles. Now this is kind of ugly. I'm not a big fan of his butt here. You've got what looks like the beginning of the trigger, and it folds down, but it's kind of ugly, and it actually feels a little like it's very breakable. If this figure were to fall, you'd probably break off some plastic pieces here, so you want to be careful not to drop this guy. I do see you've got the orange cap, which is required for all United States sales of toys that look like handguns. It is not removable. It's glued in there. I've heard there's, you know, some methods to remove it. I don't want to break this figure. This is very fragile, so I'm not going to remove this orange cap, but there are ways to remove it. I've believed X-Transbots even provided a video for those who are trying to remove that on how to do that. I do have the fairly loose arm joints here. This is kind of how all of the figures were coming. They did fix this problem. This was a pre-production issue where this would not collapse. They've prepared that, and it does fold. It actually looks really cool. I'll show this up close. It's almost like there's a piston here, and I like that a lot. That looks really nice. But the fact that this arm comes off is sort of annoying. But here's, in fact, we'll take this out too now that we have it available. We do have replacement parts. Now, lots of controversy around these, lots of people having issues. In fact, these are so tight compared to the originals. So basically these are replacement ball joints. They're sort of more complete. They've got looks like a little bit more of a, you know, circle, semicircle. Let's take one out here. Now this was shipping. It didn't ship with the original production version. They sort of started including it afterwards, after they realized the arms were sort of not staying together. So here's what you've got. I mean, you can sort of tell, I don't know if this comes across camera, but this ball joint is definitely more, there's more coverage to cover the ball joint. So I think that's what's going to keep it on. It's also tighter. But I also read online that there's another way to repair this without having to use these. A lot of people who put these in actually damaged other parts because it was so tight they couldn't move the arm, and then they ended up breaking this piece, which is again plastic, you know, kind of fragile. You don't really want to mess with this too much. So these are pretty floppy, but overall not horrible. I don't know if he'll hold his cannon. Let's see. Well, mine looks like he holds the cannon. So there you go. Let's see what happens if you put it on top. Huh. Well, he appears to be holding his cannon just fine. So maybe there's no need to change out this joint right now. I'll probably just leave it alone. It appears to be fine. So I guess there was varying amounts of QC with these joints. Mine happened to be okay. I mean, both arms do pop off like that. And if you don't like that, you can do the replacement. I'm not going to be installing these for the review. Actually, there's another part in here. I don't even know what that's for yet. I believe this is this is an adapter. So they started including this adapter as well to allow you to assemble the gun accessories into a battle station, and that was to kind of help Megatron be able to hold his battle station. I'm not going to set up Apollyon in that manner, so that's not necessary for me. Let's go through the instruction manual and the collector's card. Now, this is a really thick collector's card. It's nice quality, but what I don't like is this card is really dark. The image on here, first of all, it's a little bit scratched up, but the image on here is so dark that it's hard to see it. I mean, it does have nice writing here, kind of mimicking the Transformers, you know, Takara versions, but a little dark for my taste. This is pretty cool. You got the animation, the description here, and his stats. This was a little confusing at first. You know, it looked like it was backwards, but really the yellow is where he doesn't have. So pretty much he has, you know, pretty high stats. But pretty nice card overall. You know, I do like it, but not as nice as the Takara. I think the images could be a little bit better. It would have been nice if they actually put a product shot on here. And now here's the manual. I am a little disappointed with this. You've got some damage to the manual based on the way they packed it in the box. Excuse me. This talks about all of the features, all of the contents, and you really get a lot. I mean, this comes with so much, so many accessories. That's one of the nice things about this. I don't really care for most of them. I'm not going to be using them, but it's nice. You do have the sword, the handgun, the mace and chain, which is pretty neat. I do want to show that off. You have the clone control helmet. You got the cannon. You've got the asteroid wound panel. Lots of different things here. I mean, you really get a good. I'm just noticing there's a feature here called chest interior. So maybe we'll take a look at that. That's pretty neat. Let's actually go ahead and try to see if we can open that up. Oh, these are pretty tight. Maybe you want a screwdriver. Well, for fear of actually breaking this, I don't want to force it. Oh, there we go. Okay, so his chest opens up like that. Oh, well, that's pretty neat. You've got his little image piece or whatever that is. I'm not even sure what that is. And then you can replace that with the other panel that showed his asteroid damage. So that's pretty neat. I like that. By the way, some of the pre-production models, these would fall off. I don't have that issue. It looks like I have a fairly good QC on this figure. As far as the rest of the manual here, the next piece after these accessories, here they're showing you how to set up the battle stand, which is pretty neat. That's nice. And then you've got the alternate battle stand, and I think that's why they included that other piece here, so you could kind of assemble this in this way. And then here you've got a description of how you can rotate the cannon on his arm. Sort of a weird picture, but I mean, obviously, just to get the point across, they have it the figure very straight and the cannon straight down. So it's a little odd, but it shows you how to move the cannon. And then you go into the transformation here. So I'm not going to go through the transformation on camera. I'm going to transform this off camera. This is incredibly complicated, and I don't think I want to do this. I'm actually, a little worried. Oh, look at that. You've got a mistake. This half of the manual is, maybe it's just 2 pages. The 3 pages were assembled upside down. That's pretty silly. I mean, it's either printed upside down or assembled upside down, but you can see the writing is upside down here, and then it goes back right side up. So that's pretty weird. I don't know why they didn't fix that. But pretty much the rest of the book is transformation, and then attachments for the gun, and then finally how to put the batteries into the cannon. So that's about it for the book. The back does have this sort of comic strip. It's not really, it really gives you some shots of their reflector homage, and then you've got their Scourge homage. Kind of neat, I like this. That's about it for the manual. So we'll move on to the figure now. We pretty much covered his cannon, so I'm going to sort of move this out of the way. It is pretty hefty. I mean, it feels substantial, so I like this on the one hand, but on the other hand, it might be too heavy for some people whose joints are loose. This might actually be falling down, so I understand if that's a point of contention with people. Mine doesn't seem to have that issue. They must have worked on this a little bit. I mean, it does kind of flop a little bit. It's not too bad. So fold this away here. Now let's take a look at some of the accessories. We do have the pistol or handgun. I really like the way this is painted, the way this is done. Very nice detailing on this handgun. We'll take a look, see how this fits in his arm, or in his hand. By the way, his hand is extremely articulate, almost too much. Every finger, every joint, and it even spreads out like that. So you've got a lot of posability. It's actually a little bit annoying because the other, standard Masterpiece figures don't have that much posability, and sometimes it actually gets in the way of trying to transform this guy. But the weapon fits perfectly in his hand. You can actually make it look like he's even pulling the trigger. So that's pretty neat. And there you go. Megatron's shooting his pistol. It fits in pretty well, and the fingers do fit around. So that's a very nice weapon. And we also got the sword here. Sword of Betrayal, I believe it's called. And again, it has a tab that goes right into the side of the hand. This does fit very well. I haven't even closed the fingers and it's staying in. So that's well done. So we'll close the fingers here, and there you go. He's got his... Ooh. Yeah, that can get annoying after a while. There you go. He's got his sword and his handgun. Pretty cool. This is actually my second go-round with this review. The first time I was kind of knocking the figure a little bit because there's a lot of loose pieces and kind of weird things about this figure that sort of put me off. But my second go-around, you know, looking at this really is an amazing looking figure. I mean, compared to some of the other Masterpiece, this is dead on Megatron. You know, the fact that they were able to do this better than Takara is, you know, kind of a shame. You know, why can't Takara make this figure or make a better Megatron? Let's try to pose the feet here. They're extremely stiff. They're just, I mean, they are on this, they tilt and they rotate, but they're so stiff that it's tough to get it into the position you want. There's a lot of sharp pieces too. That's another one of my complaints, or maybe my concerns, is there's a lot of sharp pieces when you're trying to hold this figure or pose it. So you actually kind of have to be a little bit careful because you can hurt yourself. But yeah, really amazing look with his weapons here. I like that a lot. Now we'll take a look at this control helmet. Incredible paint. I've never seen an accessory with this much attention to detail. Even the microphone's painted. They've really spent some time on this. Yeah, very nice, and it does fit perfectly. It's not too tight, it's not too loose. I probably wouldn't be putting this on and off too many times because, let's take a look if that scratches his helmet. It looks like it doesn't. It's loose enough, it's tight enough to stay on, but it's loose enough that you're not scratching his the paint on his helmet by putting that on. So there you go. All three accessories, all really nice, really well done. I don't have any critiques on these weapons. All very nice. So we'll move on to some of the other accessories here, and I'm going to sort of move this guy off to the side while we take out the other tray and take a look at what's in there. So bear with me here as I get the other tray for this guy. I mean, it just comes with so much stuff. And here we have the other tray. This is pretty much all of the gun accessories plus his mace here. So we'll get this out, take a look. And these do feel like pretty strong. I mean, they're not going to break or anything. So they're pretty sturdy. And we'll get this out here. It's actually taped in, so I think what I'll do is probably just take this piece of tape off so I can remove this. I'm going to leave the asteroid panel. I mean, you can take a look there. It's basically a replacement piece for his chest right here. Actually, I think it's this one here. You replace that with this, so it looks like he's got the wound here. I'm not going to be demoing that. I'm just going to leave that in the box. It's really unnecessary feature for me. You also got the Vector Sigma key. Again, I am not going to demo that. You can just see it there. It's a nice little plastic piece. It's not metal. Both of these pieces are not metal. But it's great that they include that. I just don't feel like I need it, so I'm going to put this away. So we'll move him out of the way again. And, well, I guess maybe we'll cover this first. the mace. This is a metal chain, and really nicely done. We'll see if we can get this onto his arm, his hand here. It's fairly difficult to, having not transformed this, I'm not aware of how to actually, oh, there we go. Okay, so you basically have a little panel here that flips up, and then you can kind of fold the fingers in and fold the fist. Now, this is what I was talking about with the fingers, the fact that they're all articulated and they're sort of get in the way. You have to be very exact with them to get it to fit in here. Oh boy. Okay, there you go. So one of my little nits about this is the hand is just very, not flimsy. I mean, the word is probably, wow, okay. It's, I'd say it's more fiddly. You know, the fingers are very fiddly. The fact that they have so many articulation in so many places. So you basically end up with this little tab or slot here. And you can kind of slide this on like this, I believe. Yes. Okay, from the so it's a little tricky. Once you see where it goes, you can. It's very tight. I'm actually worried about breaking it, so I'm trying to be careful. It does go on there, but it's very tight. Okay, there we go. You don't have to push it all the way on. You can probably do just like that. And let's see if we can get him in a nice pose here. Now that, other than the arms coming off, that is incredible. The look that you can create with this thing is awesome. I mean, there's so many options. I really think they went above and beyond with the number of display options you have for this guy. There's no way I'm probably going to put this on my shelf with his classic, you know, fusion cannon look. Maybe his sword or something. But this is really cool. I mean, it looks great. You just have to kind of be gentle when you're putting this on. In fact, I would recommend you just take the arm off and sort of work it very gently off. Otherwise, this plastic is probably going to break. In fact, it feels like it's going to break. No, it didn't break, but it's pretty tight. So you want to be gentle with this thing. Alright, so we've covered all his weapons. That's, you know, 4 different weapons here. His helmet, his pistol, his sword, his mace, and then also you've got this thing. So we're going to try to get this thing assembled so we can see what the battle station looks like, and that way we can kind of get him using it. I have to use the instruction because I haven't assembled this thing, so I think the first thing you do here is split this down at the bottom, or don't split this. Oh, okay, sorry. You've got to pull this down and then split this, and now you've got that. Pretty neat. Pretty nice little gimmick that they've fit in there, so you don't. They really thought about this. Alright, then you got the next piece here. Okay guys, sorry about that. We had to take a little break here to get this thing assembled. there are apparently two different battle stand assemblies. One of them, this thing does not want to go together. It's either the pin is misshapen or something, but it doesn't want to go together. Anyways, this is probably the one you want because you kind of got him at, you know, the cannon is at his eye height, so it makes more sense. So you could really just get his hands around the handles here. And there you go, he's on his battle station. Like I said before, these hands are very fiddly, but pretty cool. I mean, I wasn't expecting this, and I really like that. That's, again, I don't plan to display it this way, but very creative that, you know, X-Transbots allowed this to be one of the modes. You know, it's really, the handles are perfectly the right height, and the fusion cannon is pretty much at the right height. It's impressive that they thought about this all the way down. You know, these are really just accessories that are attached to the gun mode, the alt mode, but yet they made a perfect battle stand. There's an alternate assembly for this battle stand. It looks slightly different, and it's lower down to the ground. I'm not really sure I understand why you want the alternate battle stand. Maybe if a different character who is shorter is going to be using the battle stand, you want to make it in the alt mode. But this is the one you want for Megatron, for Apollyon, because it fits perfectly. Very well done. Sorry this took so long to get this, you know, transformed here, but very, you know, really creative, and I'm impressed that they even went to this level of detail. Now there is a little bit of looseness here, and it's probably due to the joint, but whatever, still pretty neat. Very creative, very, very thoughtful design. That's about it for this. I'm really not going to spend much more time on the accessory here, only to say, you know, I don't really like this orange cap. It's in there. It's not coming out. It's glued in, and it's, you know, I can't even, let's see, let's take this apart. It's not even wiggling. I mean, it's solid. It's in there. So to get that out, it's going to be a lot of work, and I don't want to break this thing. So I'm probably going to leave it alone. Unfortunate that they had to make this included, but I'm not going to be walking out on the street with Megatron in gun form and pointing at people, so it's kind of silly. I don't know why you need this. I mean, this is stupid. I think what they should have done is maybe given you an option to, you know, okay, maybe you have a alternate piece that comes off, so it doesn't look like a gun anymore, but at least you don't have to have this stupid orange cap. But really, that's about it for the cannon here. I do like this little gimmick, this transformation. That's pretty neat. I guess I've decided, you know, I am going to, even these little things transform, and that's great. They thought about this. They thought about how to get this thing to come together. So that's very creative. I really like that. I have decided I am going to transform this into robot mode and get these accessories on so we can see what they look like. For now, I'll move them all out of the way. But we'll be back after getting this guy into his alt mode, and then we'll talk about the accessories and go from there. I'm probably only going to transform this guy once. It really doesn't feel like the kind of transformer you want to continue switching back and forth, because it's kind of fragile. Alright, so we'll be back after transformation, and we'll get going from there. Alright. Okay guys, we're back from transforming. This took a very long time. I almost close to an hour to transform this I probably wouldn't do this again. I mean, it was just very complex transformation. I didn't feel like anything was going to break. You know, that's probably what people want to know most is, did it feel like it was going to break? I would say no. You know, it was pretty solid. You know, if you're careful and you know Masterpiece Transformers pretty well, then you know that you want to be careful when you move things around. So I do see some loose panels and some poor fitment kind of stuff, and that's unfortunate. You know, it's not a perfect fit here. You got some gaps and stuff, but overall this is pretty impressive the way this looks. By the way, this barrel wasn't straight. I ended up bending it a little bit. Now it's pretty much perfectly straight. You do have these kind of gappiness. It wants to come apart because there's some press fit joints and they don't necessarily stay pressed. You do have a trigger here. It's spring loaded. It's pretty nice. You have a safety switch on and off here. That's about it for actual moving parts on the gun. Again, I think this looks great, and it's very nice alt mode. In fact, it's very realistic to the original G1 figure. I just think there's too many gap lines, and it was very difficult to get it just right. You know, the fitment is so tight that you had to kind of fiddle with things. This, you can't actually see through here, and I don't have the battery installed in the fusion cannon, so I don't have the light up feature working. But if I did, you'd be able to see light up here. So I really do like this. Sorry, I'm using this as my prop here. I really do like the the look of this. Now we'll maybe add on the other pieces here and see how it looks. There's the silencer. Again, orange barrel, not cool. I don't know if that's going to be easy to take off or not. And then you've got the stabilizer here. I believe it just slides on. Oh, I got it upside down. No, I had it right. Oh. Oh, there we go. It's just very tight. You gotta kind of get it on there. There you go. There's the fully assembled weapon here. Try to get the whole thing in the shot. Pretty nice. It's a little bit wobbly. It's not perfectly straight because these pieces don't fit perfectly. You know, there's some gap here. It doesn't want to stay together. Oh, maybe I have it wrong. That might be why it doesn't stay. Let's try now. Yeah, that's a little better. Same here. You know, these pieces are a little bit loose. Well, good enough. So there you have it, the fully assembled rifle. It does look good. It's huge. I mean, this thing is bigger than my arm. It really isn't the size of a regular weapon. You can see my hand. I have pretty big hands, and it barely fits around the grip. The trigger is the right size, but the grip is huge, and that's because they had to fit in his legs inside of this. So very well done. I think they definitely have Takara beat on this thing. As far as the alt mode and the robot mode's concerned, they win. Apollyon, sorry, X-Transbots. I think they've done a really good job here. They really took the time. See, that's the part of the problem with this figure. A lot of things just fall off. You get these loose panels and gaps. You got to kind of squeeze everything back together. So it does suffer from some of that. I am actually afraid to transform this whole thing back. It's going to be tough. You definitely need the instructions the first time, maybe even the second time, because it's not a simple transformer by any means. Even for someone seasoned, you really want to use the instructions because there's some tricky parts and some very fragile parts you want to be careful with. So I would definitely recommend using the instructions, especially the first time through between robot and alt mode. But that's pretty much it, guys. I've gone through all of the accessories here. My plan is to display this in robot mode, so I'm transforming this back to robot mode and never transforming it again, only because I really don't care for this on my display stand. I mean, although it looks fairly nice, robot mode is where this thing shines. I mean, that's where this really beat out Takara. So I'm gonna put this in robot mode and probably display with some of his weapons. I'm really glad I got this figure. You know, initially when I first got it, I wasn't even sure. I thought I might be returning it, and I was questioning whether it was worth it. Now, having transformed it, having played with it, having seen if there was any problems, issues, I really got a good one. Maybe I got lucky, and I'm happy with it. I'll have to be careful transforming it back, but I think they did a good job. So that's it, guys. If you have any comments, definitely leave any of those for me. Or if you like this video, click the like button and subscribe to my channel. I will be reviewing the next figure I'll be reviewing will be the DX9 DO6 character, which is a Rodimus Prime homage. So that's going to be coming out. Hopefully that's not delayed just like this figure was. So we'll see how that goes. But thanks for watching. I may do a few KO reviews in between, looking to get KO Wheeljack. So I might do a comparison and review of KO Wheeljack against the Takara version, so that people can check that out. But that's it, guys. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.